Reclaimed, The Fall of Utopia. Chapter 7, The Great Disturbance. Time was of the essence as each day brought the authorities closer to finding the source of the broadcast and the ensuing unrest. Finn and Aria knew they had to act quickly. The rescue mission planning was in full swing, along with preparations for a city-wide disruption. In the depths of the underground network, a diverse team assembled, defectors from the enforcement officers, ordinary citizens driven by conscience, and other brave souls, each with a crucial role in the rescue mission. Tensions ran high as team members prepared, grappling with fears and doubts about the impact of their efforts. Despite the uncertainty, a strong sense of camaraderie united them. They drew strength from one another, finding solace in their shared mission for justice and freedom. Nolan and Aria led the team with meticulous planning. Maps were drawn, paths marked, and contingencies prepared. They had to be ready for anything. The exile lands were unpredictable, and the journey held constant dangers. Survival was uncertain. Meanwhile, in his apartment, Finn meticulously prepared his part of the plan. Creating a program, a digital weapon, he aimed to divert the authorities' attention and create chaos, buying the rescue team the time they needed. Nagging doubts about causing irreparable damage to the city plagued him, but the greater good outweighed his fears. With determined resolve, he pushed aside his qualms and continued with his mission, knowing the fate of countless lives depended on his actions. Finn planned a series of disruptions affecting every aspect of utopian life, from traffic management and communication networks to utility controls and surveillance feeds. The city would be plunged into unprecedented chaos, keeping the authorities occupied. As the day of the mission approached, anticipation hung heavy in the air. The risks were immense, but there was no turning back. The rebellion was ready, the plan was set. The countdown to the Great Disturbance and the daring rescue mission had begun. The day of the mission arrived, and the city was abuzz, its citizens unaware of the imminent chaos. In the underground network, the rescue team was ready. Aria and Nolan led with determination. In his apartment, Finn initiated his program, and with a few taps on his keyboard, the Great Disturbance began. Utopia's tranquility shattered, traffic lights malfunctioned, communication lines scrambled, utility controls went haywire, and surveillance feeds became erratic. At enforcement headquarters, chaos ensued as officers rushed to contain the situation. Director Voss watched the disorder unfold, a clear sign of defiance. Amidst the city's turmoil, the rescue team embarked on their mission, guided by Finn's coordinates. As they left the city limits, they looked back at the chaos, their hearts heavy with hope. The journey was arduous, with harsh terrain contrasting sharply with their artificial city. They witnessed landscapes they had only read about but pressed on, driven by the image of the suffering exiles. Amidst the chaos, whispers of dissent echoed through the streets. Some citizens viewed Finn's disruption as liberation, a glimmer of hope in a controlled society, while others feared the unknown. Yet, the yearning for change was undeniable, lingering like a promise yet to be fulfilled. In the city, Finn managed the disruption, engaged in a digital tug-of-war with the city's systems. His every move was countered, but he remained relentless, knowing the rebellion depended on his actions. The city was in chaos, the authority struggling to regain control. The rescue team faced the wilds to save the exiles, while Finn battled codes in a fight for freedom. The fall of Utopia was more than a broadcast. It was a revolution, raging in the city's heart and beyond. As Finn continued his digital assault, he noticed subtle shifts in the system's responses. It was as if the city itself was fighting back, an intricate dance of code and counter. Code. The stakes were higher than ever, each keystroke a step closer to either victory or disaster. yet he couldn't help but feel a surge of hope. Each disrupted feed and error message flashing across enforcement headquarters screens signaled the rebellion's persistence. Meanwhile, the rescue team forged ahead through hostile terrain, determined to push through and complete their mission, undeterred by the challenges around them. Each step showcased their resolve to bring the exiles home. The landscapes they crossed served as stark reminders of what lay beyond their controlled space, a world both breathtaking and harsh, beautiful yet unforgiving. They pressed on, undeterred. Despite knowing the risks, the exiles' suffering drove them onward. Each mile was a small victory against the oppressive forces they aimed to topple. In the city, murmurs of dissent steadily grew louder, hinting at the change to come. Their courage became a beacon for others in hiding. Finn's disruptions had done more than just create chaos. They had ignited a spark of hope among the citizens. People began to question the very foundation of their society, the whispers turning into murmurs of rebellion. Some saw Finn's actions as a beacon of liberation, a chance to break free from the suffocating control of the authority. While others held tight to the familiar order of their lives, a strong desire for change was settling in the air. The rescue team's mission was far from over, and Finn's digital battle still blazed fiercely, yet the seeds of revolution had already sprouted. The fall of Utopia didn't signify a single event, but rather the dawn of a lasting transformation. Finn, Aria, and their allies pressed on, conscious that their pursuit of freedom was only in its infancy. This revolution would persist, driven by the unwavering hope and relentless resolve of those brave enough to dream of a better future. With every step forward, the path to liberation grew clearer, guiding them toward an uncharted destiny.